If you had developed dementia, would you want to know? What if your family member were showing signs of dementia? Would you want them to know? How could knowing impact your lives? My name is Vanessa Thompson, and I'm a general internist and primary care physician. These are questions many of my patients and their family members ask. From a clinician's point of view, screening allows us to be proactive, starting early to develop a care plan focused on brain health. It also helps connect our patients to needed services, ultimately helping us to deliver better care that's more aligned to patients and their families' goals. So now that you understand what dementia is from the previous videos, let's talk about normalizing screening. One resource that we link to on our website that can help clinicians normalize screening is the BOLD Toolkit, developed by the CDC-funded BOLD Public Health Center of Excellence on Early Detection of Dementia. Their framework emphasizes the importance of creating time and space to talk about brain health with patients, so that we can build trust around what is often a sensitive conversation about memory, cognitive processing, and the abilities to care for oneself. Here are a few general tips from the BOLD Toolkit that can help prepare patients for cognitive screening. You know these things and practice them every day, but here's a reminder. Use short, simple statements and avoid jargon. Use positive framing. Pay attention to body language. Build trust with eye contact and compassionate check-in questions. Here are a few suggestions to get the conversation around screening started. You can pause the video now to read them, or you can find this list on our website. Next, you'll want to get permission from your patient to do the screening. Here are a few simple examples of ways to ask for permission. You can pause the video now to read them, or you can find this list on our website. Once a patient agrees to the screening, use validated tools to look for the hallmark symptoms of dementia, acquired cognitive and functional decline. There are many tools that can help us. Choose those that you feel work best for your patients and practice, paying attention to the language and cultural norms in your community. Let's look at one example. MiniCog is a screening tool I use in my practice to evaluate cognition. It has two components. The first is a 3-word recall task that assesses memory, and the second is a clock drawing test that assesses the cognitive domains of cognitive function, language, visual motor skills, and executive function. Here's how the 3-word recall task works. Ask the patient to pay attention and say, "I'm going to say 3 words that I want you to remember now and later." The words are banana, sunrise, chair. Please say them now. You can use any words as long as they are unrelated and you will remember them. Give the person 3 tries to repeat the words. You may repeat the words to them for each try. And for the second part of the test, I'll hand the patient a piece of paper with a pre-drawn circle and explain to them that I would like you to draw a clock using this circle. I'll say, first put the numbers in the circle. Once that task is completed, I'll say, now set the hands to show 10 past 11. If the person has not finished the clock drawing in 3 minutes, you'll want to discontinue and ask for the word recall items again. I know too well the time pressures of being a PCP, and dementia screening can feel daunting. One strategy is to divide the 2 parts I've just described between visits. The truth is that dementia screening is not urgent, but it is necessary. The beauty of primary care is that we can schedule a follow-up visit. Once we've screened for cognition, then we move on to assess function. I'll go down this checklist, which you can find on our website, and I'll ask all of my patients how they do daily or regular tasks. While some of this may seem basic, it helps me to understand their point of view. I'll say, for the following activities, can you tell me how you do these? And if anyone helps you, bathe, get dressed, etc. One strategy is to divide the 2 parts I've just described between visits. The beauty of primary care is that we can schedule a follow-up visit. After I've briefly assessed cognition and function, I take the opportunity to review the person's support system. Remember that if you're running out of time, you can split these screening steps between visits. If a patient says they need help during a task, ask, "May I list this person in your chart?" Or I ask, "Is there someone who is a decision maker, like a power of attorney or healthcare agent, if you're unable to make your own decisions?" Remember, it's important to document the patient's care partners, health agent, or both. If the patient can't identify either a care partner or a healthcare agent, that should be documented as well. By completing these quick tests for cognition and function, you will learn if more evaluation is needed. A positive screen means that you need to follow up on something, not that they have dementia. So when I have patients with a positive screen, I let them know that I appreciate that we got this information, I review the results with them, and I tell them that while we need more evaluation at a future visit, there are things that we can do today to support brain health and function. We have a list of resources for what to do after a positive screen on the website. In review, you should now have a basic understanding of how to normalize screening for dementia, how to screen for cognitive decline, and how to screen for functional decline. You should also understand that a positive screen does not mean that somebody has dementia. It means that you need to pursue more information for diagnosis, which we will describe in the next videos.